you've left yourself no room to manoeuvre, you've got no deal, right? So you've got to be a bit canny on that. Do any of you know A.D. Sullivan, who came out for you last year?
Yeah.
For a short while, I was acting as kind of like a mentor to A.D. He didn't choose me as his lawyer, he went somewhere else. But he and I were chatting for a little while. And he was at the point where every single major in town was calling him. And all of a sudden my phone was ringing off the hook because they got this idea that I was his lawyer. So they were all trying to hustle me. And I had Nick Gatfield call me and say, before it gets to you, I didn't really diss you in your book. I'm like, what? He said, I was in A.D.'s room and he had your book on the shelf and I told him it was crap and he shouldn't read it. And then he said he was talking to you and I thought, oh shit, I've blown it. So the guy was then on the phone to me saying, I didn't really mean to diss your book in you. Showing how desperate. I mean, to me, that just said, great, we can write whatever ticket we want on this one. This guy is so desperate for this deal that he's going to agree on almost anything, you know. And when you've got that kind of bargaining power, you can pretty much say, you might offer a 360, but I'm not doing a 360. I'm doing this deal, you know. Now, I don't know what deal AD ended up with, but I know it was a good deal. And so, you know, good luck to him. And he used his bargaining power to the fullest effect. Of course, the big challenge for him now is converting all that interest into making a record that he wants to make.
I think you get so with Psycho.
Exactly. That's why I said making a record that he wants to make. As I say, he didn't choose me as his lawyer, so yeah, all good luck to him. So 360s worthy are the major, and because the majors are only offering these kind of deals, so too are the independents currently, because they tend to sort of follow, it trickles down. So now we have independents that are offering 360 deals as well, so you really can't get away from them. So the best you can do is to try and really just negotiate hard as much as you can if you're offered one. There is an opportunity for renegotiation once you're successful, but never go into a deal on the basis that you can renegotiate, because it may not happen. Because once you've signed that contract, you're committed to what's in that contract. So don't think, oh well, you know, they'll change it as soon as I've got some money. No, they won't. They'll change it once you've had 3 successful albums, but not after the first, because they say, well, it could be a, you know, it could be a flick. Your first album could be the only one that you make that ever sells. So they're not going to heavily renegotiate after one album. Yeah.
Do you think that the 360 deals are likely to last for much longer? Or do you think that people are going to kind of keep seeing them as being a negative thing and start doing more negotiating and allowing artists to...
Well, I present them as very negative, right? Because I don't like them. But my friend over here isn't so negative about them. And I have to say that in the 5 or 6 years that they've been around, they have been accepted as the only game in town, and therefore the deal that we will have to do. So whether I like them or not, they are with us, I think, in some form or other. We'll see in a little while that the majors are also finding other ways in which they can chose to, you know, sort of get some more cash into the banks. But it's going to take quite a mind shift, I think, for them to say, well, why would we give up on a claim of 20% of the sponsorship or 20% of the merchandise, you know? It may turn out to be worthwhile, it may be something worth having. So they're not going to easily give it up now, I don't think.
Are there any labels that you know that actively don't offer 360?
None of the majors, all the majors will offer them.
Yeah.
I don't know all the independent deals, but the ones that I have come across are all variations, although they do usually leave publishing out. Yeah.
I did my internship at Communion, and I don't think that they do 360 deals and deals that sort.
You see, Communion is an odd one anyway. I don't actually understand Communion's business model. I love them, but I don't actually understand the business model. because they are a bit like Fierce Panda, that they are in very early on artists' careers. Like the Staves, who one of whom is a graduate of here, their early EP releases were on Communion, and they don't seek to do these long-term exclusive deals. Just like, you know, Fierce Panda will do a one single option second single deal. Communion love to put together music and musicians, and I love them for it. But as a sustainable model, I'm sure their lawyers and their business advisors are all saying to them, you need options, you need to be going further, you need to be becoming a bit more self-protected here. I mean, I don't know, what did you see when you were in-house there?
I think they're trying to.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy it is there. I don't know if artists are a bit like, we'll put this out and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because it's quite early days. I think some have been going for like 3 years. So.
I know, but I mean, as I say, that's why I love them. But having started with that model, it's incredibly difficult to then get somebody to say, you know, give us options, because you know that they'll do it without the options. You see what I mean? I mean, I think they're now backed by Island, aren't they?
For most albums, I think they've got.
Yeah, because they were with someone else, and they were about to shift to Island when I did the last deal with them, and I'm sure Island are pushing them for a return on the investment, which is a little bit more longer term.
Yeah.
Even though Island is a very artist-friendly label, it is still part of the Universal Group, and therefore is going to have those kind of pressures on it. I love it that they're not doing 360s, and I wish them well, but I just can't see quite how that's going to let them live for the long term.
Yeah, I think it's like a money thing. So if you've got a deal from Ireland, you've got a deal from Communion. I don't know if you'd go to Communion really, because I don't know how much money they won't be able to offer as much money.
Well, they won't be. I mean, what they will, if the deals are anything like they normally do on these, they fund their overheads. They will give. If it's a big signing that they want to do, then the Island will come through with the money for the signing.
Yeah, exactly.
But generally speaking, the funder would like to have a little bit more than just the one released from that artist, and it'll be a challenge to see how Fierce Panda tried it and didn't, and went back to the original model, and is still working to that original model of a single option second single. They tried to get option albums, and everybody went, but that's not what Fierce Panda does.
Yeah.
So I wish them well, but I as I say, I'm not quite sure how they're going to convert them into long-term revenue.
Yeah.
Do you not think that kind of like the uniqueness of that kind of model is more attractive to artists and managers to go?
Well, yeah, we love that. We love it. I mean, who would not love not being locked into something? You know, but in terms of
for the label, it's not as beneficial, really, is it?
and can you think of why it might not be for the artist as well?
Might not have as much support, but they're not able to push it as far as.
That's absolutely it. You got it, because they haven't got the resources. They can't do a big international campaign. They can't do the big pushes. And you may say that's great, because that's what the artists want at that stage of their career. They just want a lift,
Good platform.
to the next stage. But
you don't think that's sustainable, like enough to be that kind of label that is the platform and doesn't necessarily hold on to them, but just gives them that lift?
if they're lucky and they get enough hits, if they get each one sells enough to cover its costs plus a little bit, then yes, it's sustainable. But for every hit success you get, you might have 5 failures, and if those 5 failures come in the same year, you're buggered. Now, okay, it's got a little bit of a support from Island, but Island is not going to stay in it for the long haul if they're continually not breaking even on deals. So there does come a point where it really is crunch time. But it is possible to convert from it. I mean, you look at Bionique and Domino. Bella Union struggles because it gets cash flow issues from time to time. But they have all switched to a model where you pick up, they get options on the next release. Yep.
So in that sense, do you think like the role of the major label is to basically put a big budget to market the artist? Is that the role now in that case to ensure like the big distribution and the marketing budget that's there to push the sales and stuff like
Well,
that?
let's ask the group. How many people, if you were targeting a major, why would you target a major? Give me some suggestions. Why would you be a major label rather than independent?
For the contacts and money,
Contacts and money in the UK or wider?
it's worldwide.
Worldwide. So you'd be much more inclined to sort of do a worldwide major deal than a worldwide independent deal. Okay.
You might be.
The reputation of the company, the benefits that come with having the name, the link, the connection
How
you
would
have.
that translate on the ground? Say you're an artist. How would you use that reputation?
I think again, like worldwide, more than like most indie labels in the UK are probably working on UK, European, not really extending to the US. Whereas a lot of major labels have their ties to the US as well. So if you went abroad to the US and said, "Oh, I'm with Universal" or whatever, you've got those bigger links there.
Yeah, I think that's potentially right. Absolutely. Any other question? Okay. There certainly are these international advantages of being with a major, but I would ask you to think too that a lot of people sign to majors and think that's it, we've got a worldwide deal now. And only yesterday I was serving notices on Sony for failure to release in Germany and America and France. They'd only done a UK release even though they'd taken worldwide rights. The band had been to the States on a promotional tour off the back of South by Southwest, which is in March in Austin, Texas. They'd gone into the record label, and the record label in the US didn't know